Alright, so welcome to another episode of the Math Party. I'm Mr. Young. We're going to talk about Desmos today. So, Desmos is a graphing tool, an online graphing tool. Most people know how to use this because some of the teachers have already explained to you, but if not, this is a perfect example of how to use Desmos in a great way. We all know how to graph. The simplest way to graph, whether you're in Algebra 1, Geometry, or Algebra 2, is by points. So, as you can see, we can do points. 3 comma 4, you have a nice little purple dot at 3 comma 4. Okay, so that's an easy way of graphing. You can do almost anything, any type of graphing in this case. So your assignment for today is going to be how to build a house. We are building a house out of a graph, out of graphs and everything like that. So how do we get a diagonal graph like the roof? Well, in that case, we're going to take this off and we're going to have to do our normal graph. Any type of line that goes diagonal, we should know this, especially from Algebra 1, Algebra 2, geometry and all that stuff. We all know it from pre-algebra and so forth. The most common and most famous phrase when you're graphing is y equals mx plus b. So we're going to write one. So y equals, and then some numbers, so we're going to say x plus b. B is our y-intercept, so we're going to say plus 1. As you can see, it gives us a beautiful black graph, black line right here, that is at 1 comma at 1. This is the y-intercept right here, as you can see, so that's at 1, and then the slope is, if there's no number on there, that means the slope is 1. So we're going to take the 1, and you're going to go up 1 and over 1. So that's how we keep going. Well, we need to do the other one. Well, let's do another one. Y equals x plus 1. It's the same exact graph, but it's red. But why is it in the same spot? Maybe I should do 2. It only goes up. How about if I do negative 2? Oh, it only goes down, but it's the same way. How do I get it to the other side? Well, the main case would be is that if changing this won't help, obviously changing this will. Okay, so if I do 2, oh, the slope gets a little deeper or steeper. So what happens if I do a negative? Well, there you go. Negatives make the graph go the other way because it's a negative slope. You're going downhill. Negative means going downhill. Positive means you're going uphill because we're always reading left to right. So as you can see, we have the beginning parts of our house right here. Okay, the beginning parts of our house is fairly simple. Now, how do I get rid of these little lines that I don't want? Well, little lines means that we have to use something that is the domain and range. We need to figure out what the domain is, what the range that we have to start and stop. Remember, you're always going from left to right. So in this case, we are going to start from the left. So we're going to take our black. We want it to start at -1 because left to right means we're looking at the x-axis only. So you are going to do your two brackets. You're going to start at whatever this number is, -1. We're going to do less than or equal to x, less than or equal to, and then we want it to stop at 0. We're going to put 0. As you can see, we've blocked it off between -1 and 0. Then that means there's this part. Now the other one should be exactly the same. I want this to be between 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 1. As you can see, we have our beginnings of our beautiful house. If you want to make them the same color, you can. All that stuff if you want to. There are definitely different things that you can do and stuff like that with the gear. You can make them the same color, different color, however the case may be. Now, how do you make the walls? Well, the walls are fairly simple, a lot easier than these equations here. Play with them, make them your own, and stuff like that. So, to make a house or to make a vertical line, what's going to happen is we're going to make a vertical line here. I'm not going to show you how to make the house. You guys are going to make the house. So we're going to do a vertical line over here at -5. I want a vertical line straight up. That's going to be at -5. Now to do a vertical line, it is always going to be x equals some number. Whatever the x value be, y can be anything as long as x is -5. So we're going to write -5. As you can see, the blue line becomes a vertical line right here. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put values, but For this one, we're going to change it to less than or equal to y, less than or equal to y, because of the fact that it is vertical. Vertical means your range is going to be everything up and down, whatever the y value is. So you want it to start from somewhere from the bottom and work your way up. So the bottom, we're going to say maybe -2. So -2 all the way to 5. As you can see, the vertical line starts at -2. I'm going to be right here from -5, -2, and it's going to go all the way up to 5, -5, 5. So as you can see, the y changes, but the x will always be -5. Perfect. Now we're going to do a vertical line. We want a vertical line right here, between here and here, between 2 and 7. So how do we do a horizontal line? A horizontal line, since a vertical line is x equals to a number, the horizontal line is going to be y equals to a specific number. In this case, we're going to make the specific number at 5, because that's where we want the line to be. We want the line to be at y equals to 5. Now we want the x values to change, so we are going to make the domain whatever the x values are. So less than or equal to x, less than or equal to x, and we said that we want it to start at 2 and go all the way to 7. So 2 to 7. As you can see, there's a vertical line here, a vertical line, nice beautiful vertical line that is from -2, 5 all the way to 7, 5. So the 5 doesn't change on the y value, but the x does. It can be anything in between here. Alright, so now as you can see, those are the basic steps on how to make a graph and put a graph on there. So your basic values are going to be this: making a house, a beautiful house that is going to reflect on you putting these numbers together, trial and error, making an art piece and stuff like that. Okay, and there are a bunch of different rules and dimensions and restrictions that you're allowed to do on Google Classroom, but this is the essentials of how we're going to do things in this class. As you can see, what's going to happen after that is you're going to take a screenshot of this to show me that you've done it, and then you're going to post it on Google Classroom showing me that you have done it. Now make sure that you guys are using different numbers than mine, because if I'm giving you these, that means you have to figure it out. I've already given you the first part. You can either make it bigger or smaller. There's other things that you have to incorporate, like windows and doors and stuff like that. So by all means, have fun at it. Hope this helps. If not, watch it again or come on and ask me. Alright, see you later.